morning, everybody. How are you doing this Wednesday morning? Hi, it's Norma here. Welcome you to your Wednesday morning slow flow. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. So if you have arrived, welcome. If you're joining at a later date, welcome as well. So let's get comfortable on our mat and begin to arrive. We're just a few minutes out. Gather anything that you would like to have with you for your class today. There's no necessary props that you are required for this class, but certainly if you like to have a block, if you have a block handy, or you have a sturdy pillow that you may want to use as a prop, or maybe even a blanket for Shavasana, just gather up anything that you would like to have with you for your practice today. Good morning. So I'm going to be in a seat just for a few minutes as we begin to arrive. So go ahead and get comfortable on your backs. And we're going to begin to arrive. I'm going to transition to my back as well now, as it is 7:30, and let's begin. I do love sitting on that meditation pillow though. So all the way down to your back. I'm going to start in a recline bound ankle this morning. So if that feels comfortable for you, you can take the soles of your feet together, allowing your knees to fall open. Bring in one hand to heart, one hand to belly. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can spread your legs out wide and recline in a more traditional Shavasana pose to start. So taking these first few breaths to get yourself comfortable. Letting your breath guide you to be present here for the next 45 minutes. To do nothing else other than breathe and flow, maybe rest and digest. This is 45 minutes that you've carved out for yourself, and know that you are safely held here, and you can feel all the feels on your yoga mat. You can just be. Let's take an inhale together. Open your mouth, sigh, let it all go. Can you soften even more? Releasing anything that you may be holding on in your jaw. Maybe you turn the corners of your mouth up into a smile. Allowing your shoulders to fall away from your ears. And take your attention to your breath. Feeling that warm temperature as you breathe in, filling up your chest, maybe your belly inflates, your hand on your belly maybe inflates. And feeling the exhale, everything emptying out. So maybe it's even thinking about inhaling for opening freshness, new life. And exhaling, letting anything go that no longer serves you. We started talking about chakras last week. We focused on the root chakra. And today I was thinking we could go up to our Sacral Chakra, located in our pelvis, lower navel. Maybe as your hand is on your belly, you maybe think of that Sacral Chakra, this orange wheel, Swadhisthana. And maybe thinking of your breath as you fill up your belly, going in there, and even maybe imagining that orange light of this wheel. And maybe as your breath goes there, can it become even brighter. So our pelvis, our hips, our sacral chakra is a place where we may hold tension, that may hold our stories. So if we become stuck there, sometimes you will find that your creativity may be affected. You may feel stuck, anxious. And this is our water element too here, so we would like this area to be fluid and unstuck. So as we travel through our asanas today, we're going to focus on some things that will help this area open up. And if you think of your prana, your breath, maybe you can even focus your breath going into that area. Let's take one more inhale together. Exhaling, sigh, let it all go. Out with the elbows. And let's begin to warm up as we can stretch our legs out wide. Maybe stretching arms overhead like you're waking up from a long nap. Before bringing knees into chest, bringing your head and shoulders up the mat, giving yourself a little hug before letting your shoulders and head fall back down. And just letting your knees rock from side to side. Giving a little massage to the back of your spine here, your sacral area. Nice dog, guys. Becoming back still again, letting your feet drop to the mat, rotating over onto your side, and pushing yourself up into your tabletop position. So setting that strong foundation in your tabletop, fingers are splayed out wide, shoulders are stacked on top of elbows, on top of wrists. And we want the insides of our elbows to turn forward to the front of our mat. So let's do that adjustment again. Letting our arms fall naturally, and then just letting those elbows rotate, creases out, point out to the front of your mat. Beautiful. Good morning, Ginger. Toes can be flat on the mat or toes can be tucked, your preference. Let's travel through some cat-cows to warm up our spine, dropping our belly, lifting our gaze, our tails long behind us. Exhaling, curling in, belly button to spine as we go into that cat posture. Maybe letting our head go from side to side here. And following your breath, linking breath with movement, inhaling to your cow, not overextending your neck. Exhaling, belly button to spine. And one final at your own pace with your own breath. And invite a breath that goes in through your nose and exits through your nose now. Just with that slight constriction to the back of your throat. Kind of feels like you're snoring or like the ocean. Coming back to neutral spine. Can you take your right gaze of your right side over to your right hip? Looking over your right shoulder. Man, back to center. Now looking over the left. Nothing changes in your body. Just warming up the upper spine a little bit more here now. One more time, right? And back to center. And one more time left. Beautiful, guys. When you're ready, taking your hands just an inch forward, bending generously into your knees as we lift our hips up and back to our first inversion, our home base, our downward facing dog. So allowing any movement here that your body may be craving, pedaling out your feet, wagging your tail. Let's bend generously into our knees, trying to lift our tail up high, higher than you think you can go, and then gently letting our heels come towards the floor. Our heart goes through the opening of our arms. Biceps are lining up with ears. Good adjustment. See that length that you've got there. Nice job. And awareness that your heels may never touch the ground, and that's okay. Honor your body. Beautiful, guys. Bending our knees, looking to the top of our mat and travel there. You can walk, you can take a big step as I am, or maybe it's in your practice to jump there. Inhale to lengthen, flat back. Exhale, folding in. Inhaling to rise all the way up. Bringing hands to heart center. Do this again. Inhaling all the way up, grabbing all that energy, and bring it back into your heart. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling as we bow over our soft knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to our first Chaturanga Dandasana. So on your body, what is in your practice? High or low plank. I'm coming to my knees to start. Holding our elbows close by our side, going all the way down. Heart leads the way. Inhaling, just a baby cobra to wake yourself up. Tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Always an option to travel through table on your way there. Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A to warm up today. You know I love my sun salutations. I'm kind of missing my sun A as we've been doing sun B the last few weeks. Drop me a note in the messages or send me a chat messages and let me know if you have a preference. Bending our knees, looking to the top of our mat. Can you travel there? Inhale to lengthen. Folding in. Rising up. And bow over your soft knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Stepping back to your plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra, up dog. And downward facing dog. 3 breaths to reset. Feeling that blood start getting warmed up. Maybe you're feeling your heart rate's increasing a little bit. Slow and steady as we wake up. Seeing the light come in a little bit outside if you have a window. We had to get started in the dark again this morning with the time change. Bending your knees, looking to the top of your mat. Can you travel there? Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, folding in. Rising all the way up. And we bow. Flat back. Lengthen your hands. Rinse it all out with your Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog as we're warming up. Maybe up dogs in your practice. Your knees can come off the mat. And downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. Hopefully you're feeling warmed up here. Can you lift your right leg up behind you? Bend your knees, stack your hip, open up like you're a dog, maybe on the fire hydrant. Just feeling that hip open a little bit here. Before coming back to three-legged dog, looking to the top of your mat, and can you help or step your right foot between your hands? Letting your left knee come back down to the mat into this low crescent lunge. If you have any issues in your knees, you can take your yoga mat and just pat it up to give you a little bit extra cushion. Alrighty. So taking our hands to our hips to start. Toes can be tucked, or I actually like to keep my toes tucked here. It just gives me a little bit more stability. Big generous bend to that right knee, still able to see the toes of your right foot, feeling that nice stretch in the front of your left leg. You can rise up, making sure your hips are still facing forward. Nice tilt to our pelvis here. Kind of thinking about that pelvic bowl, that fluidity of the water there, as this sacral chakra is water element. So making sure that, if you can, in your mind's eye, think of that bowl, and as you position your pelvis in this tilt, it aligns everything, nice length to our spine, as it also holds on to that water in our pelvic bowl, that, if you can imagine that. Letting our hands come down, stretching our right foot forward without locking out the right knee. Kind of feeling like your toes are curling up, like you're stepping on the gas pedal here. So our half splits. So in your practice, you can maybe edge that left knee back a little bit. Can you inhale to lengthen, and exhale, pouring your heart through, not rounding out your back, lengthening, letting your heart lead the way. You can have some fun with this too as you inhale, coming slightly out of the posture, and with your exhale, seeing if you can soften even more. Nice job, guys. Dragging your right heel back into that low lunge, popping your knee up. Can you open, pivoting on your back foot so your foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat, and come up into our Warrior Two posture. Tail is tucked. We're bending generously into our right knee again. Foot is flat on the floor on your left side. Gaze is over your right middle finger. So again, that pelvis is tucked, thinking about your bowl. Maybe firing up that sacral chakra as you think of that orange bright light that we started at the class. Nice job, guys. Flipping your palm, reach it up and back. Reverse your warrior. Nothing changes in your legs. Think about that. Did you come up a little bit? Can you bend back into your right knee? And coming back through warrior two. Straightening out your right knee without locking it. Reaching, 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 reaching forward where you feel that you can't reach any more forward. Can you hinge at your waist, coming down into your triangle posture. So this is maybe a time where a block may be handy. If you have that, you can use your block here to extend the length in your arms. But that's okay if you don't have it. Just go to where you're comfortable. It might be your calf or maybe your ankle. If it's in your practice, you can come down to the ground, making sure that's not compromising anything in your breath, and you're still able to tuck your tail. Pouring your heart open. Nice, guys. Letting that left hand come down, pivoting on your back toe, stepping right foot to meet left, and rinse it out with your vinyasa. So guys, if these flows or vinyasas are not serving you, always a reminder that you can go into down dog or child's pose at any time. The flows that we insert through our standing series are always an option. And you can always add any authentic movement there as well if you want to crank out a few push-ups. If Ryan's out there, you may be doing that. Let's take an inhale together. Exhale, sigh, let it all go. I actually change my position so you can see me on the second side here. Can you breathe your left leg up behind you? Bending your knees, stacking your hip. Not sinking into that right shoulder. Just feeling that openness in your hip here. And awareness that one side can be completely different than the other, and that's okay. Awareness, never judgment. Be kind to yourself as you be kind to others. Letting yourself come back into your three-legged dog before stepping your foot or helping your foot to the top of your mat. So your left foot forward here. Coming down onto your right knee. Always an option again to pad that yoga mat up to give any extra protection that your knee might need here or want. So setting that strong foundation before we get deeper into the pose, making sure our hips are forward. We're in our low lunge. Bending. And I might edge my right knee back a little bit. Toes are flat on the mat here. And when you feel ready, breathing your hands up and your gaze follows. Making sure that your chin is still humble here. You're not extending your neck. Always thinking like there's a grapefruit there underneath your chin. If you want to extend a little bit, you can lengthen out your spine and gently come back into just a tiny back bend if that's in your practice. Are you still breathing? Using that breath to send breath into any areas. Give you power through your postures. Allowing you to soften here. Letting your hands come down. We're going to take that left foot like you're driving a sports car and it's a standard and your foot's on the clutch. Maybe inching your right knee back and two half splits here on second side. only if that's in your practice. And we inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pouring in. You can play with this, as I mentioned, inhaling to come out of the posture and maybe exhaling, seeing if you can go further. Only if your heart is leading the way and you're not rounding out your spine. Nice job, guys. Dragging your left heel, so you're coming back into our low crescent lunge as your toes are tucked now on the right side. Can you pop your knee up? Opening up, pivoting on your right foot. So you're parallel to the short edge of your mat now and coming up to your warrior two, second side. Feeling your strength in your legs as they're scissoring together to keep your balance. Making sure your pelvis is tucked, your tail is tucked. And we allow ourselves to soften here. Gaze can be over your left middle finger now. Flipping your left hand, reach it up and back, reverse your warrior. So your right hand is lengthening down your right leg, feeling that nice stretch and openness on your left side body, and your gaze is up to your left middle finger here. And back through to warrior two, straightening out your left knee without locking it, reaching, 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 reaching forward before hinging at your waist and coming down to whatever is accessible for your triangle pose. So ankle, calf, floor, block. Make sure your tail is tucked, pelvis is tilted before opening your heart up here, and your gaze is up over your right fingers. One long line from your left toes to your right fingers. Can you feel the openness and expansion here? Can you allow yourself to just be here? Beautiful job, guys. Letting your hands come down, untwisting yourself, pivoting on your right foot, stepping left foot to meet right, and rinsing it out with our second to last vinyasa. Let's just take a few moments in child's pose here to reset. Maybe grab a drink of water. Taking 10 breaths for whatever you need here. Everybody doing okay? Awesome. So taking 2 or 3 more breaths in your child's pose. Resetting. Beautiful, guys. When you're ready, we're gonna stretch ourselves long onto the mat. Toes are long behind us. You can come up on your elbows. Hands are forward. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. Your shoulders are stacked underneath your elbows. Let's just settle here in Sphinx Pose just for about 5 breaths. Just feeling our tail lengthen to the back of the room. If this is hurting your back at all, just come down a little bit out of the posture. Honor your body. Remember, keeping your chin humble. Great way to strengthen our back. Few yin postures to honor that water element of our Sacral Chakra, Svasyasthana. Beautiful, guys. Letting your hands come up underneath your chest, coming up through table, and pushing yourself up to your downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. Can you inhale your right leg up? Taking right knee to right elbow. Come back, 3-legged dog. Right knee curling in, belly button spine as you try to kiss your knee. And they're as close as you can get before coming back, 3-legged dog. One more time, right knee to right elbow as you let your right leg come down. And maybe you help your leg so it's like the number 4 on your mat. So we're going to go into pigeon this morning. So if you have a lot of things going on in your hips and this doesn't serve you this morning, always an option to go on your back to our regular figure 4 or thread the needle posture. If you're feeling comfortable to go into a pigeon posture, whatever that looks like for you today. It's always nice to maybe have a prop handy, but not necessarily. So our right leg, our right knee is at our right elbow. Feet are flexed here to protect your knee. Left leg is long behind you. And can you come down onto your elbows? So that may not serve you if you have anything going on in your hips. So you might want to come here and stay here. And that's awesome. Always variations. So honor your body. We're going to hold this posture for a little bit longer than some of our other postures. So wherever you are, can you settle there? So if you've been in my class before, you know that pigeon is a posture that took me a long time to be friends with. I actually used to hate when they were going into pigeon. So sometimes it's those postures that we don't prefer that are really what our body needs. So it's this yin and this yang of what I want and what I need. And this is one of those postures. So can you soften here for 10 more breaths? Feeling breath into any area that may be calling it. My hip is saying, hello, hello. If your mind begins to wander, as it will do in a posture like this, bring your attention back to your breath. Can we inhale together? Exhale, sigh, let it all go. Can You soften even more. Even more. When you're ready, letting yourself come up, being very gentle with yourself, letting your right knee come back to left, swaying your hips from side to side. Pop yourself up to your downward facing dog. And if you want to throw in a vinyasa here, please go there. I think I want to rinse it all out. So high or low plank. Shining your heart forward. And downward facing dog. Letting go of anything that may have come up for you there. Let's inhale together. Open your mouth side, let it all go. Can you let your left leg come up behind you? Three-legged dog here. Bending your knee, coming up, touching left knee to left elbow. Three-legged dog. Curling in, belly button, spine, left knee to nose, or you're trying to kiss your knee. Three-legged dog. And you know where we're going now. As you come forward, letting left elbow touch left knee. Can you let your left knee come down, right knee comes down. And help your foot to a position that is a number 4 on your mat. Your right leg is long behind you. And once again, if it serves your body better, you're going to flip over to your back and go into figure 4 or thread your needle. So always awareness that one side can be completely different than the other. So honor your body. So that may be on your hands, maybe on your elbows or a block or a pillow, or maybe in your practice to come all the way down and let your forehead touch the mat. Good for you. So wherever you are, and you can inch your right knee back a little bit if you want to get a little deeper into the stretch. And always an option if your hip is off the ground, as mine is, that you can offer some props there to soften underneath your hip. So your expression of pigeon, we're going to be here for about 15 breaths. So can you allow yourself to let go and soften here? And if your mind begins to wander, just acknowledge that thought and come back to your breath. if you're beginning to think, I hope she starts counting faster, can you bring yourself back here? And if you're actually hurting, please come out of posture. But if it's this yin and yang that is challenging you, can I offer to come back to your breath and see if you can soften for 5 more. Slowly letting yourself to come up out of that posture, dragging left knee to meet right, biting your tail off. And offering your body any movement here that may be craving. I'm going to come up one more time into downward facing dog. Maybe you want to settle back into child's pose. And if you're going there, you can rinse it out with your final vinyasa. Beautiful job, guys. Coming down to our knees, transitioning to our mat. You can go in child's pose for a few breaths on your way there. Letting your hips soften between your knees. Maybe thanking yourself for trying new things today. Getting a little bit more fluidity in your hips. We're pushing yourself up through table and transitioning onto your backs. So any last posture that your body may be craving here, you may want to twist from side to side. Or maybe you want to explore happy baby. So yogi's choice. I'm going to settle back into recline bound angle. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Just in this last few moments before Shavasana, in this restorative posture that we started with. Maybe observing any changes that you might notice from when we started here initially. You can now let your feet come away from your hips if you want to ease out of the posture and go into a traditional Shavasana posture, corpse pose. Or if you're feeling comfy in that recline bound ankle, you can certainly stay there for your Shavasana. Lots of yogi's choice today. It is your practice. I'm just somebody who offers some suggestions. So wherever you are, wherever you've landed, can you settle for these last few minutes of class in your silent meditation, knowing that when the time is right, it will bring you back. Trust each step. Stay present for each step of your journey. We don't go from one place to another in a gigantic leap. We get there in increments by going through each feeling, each belief, each experience, one step at a time. Stay present for each step of your journey. Trust each step that many things are possible for you. If you accept the fastest way, is one step at a time. Bringing your awareness back to your body now. Slowly beginning to bring yourself back. No rush. Maybe opening and closing your eyes, letting the light come in. Engaging your wrists and your ankles to slowly wake up before offering a long stretch and bringing knees into your chest before rolling over to one side or the other. Maybe staying in fetal position there just for a breath or two. Before pushing yourself up to a seat and bringing hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gaze can be lowered or eyes can be closed if that feels okay. Chin is humble. Taking this moment to thank yourself for carving out this time. Observing any changes that your practice may have brought to your body, your heart, or your mind. How are those hips feeling now? It has been my honor to lead you in your practice today. Know that the love and the light in my heart bows to the love and the light in your heart. Namaste. Have beautiful days, guys. I hope that we get some sunshine today and you get to maybe savor some of those steps that you will be making on your journey today. Thanks for coming, and I hope to see you next Wednesday on your mat.